Here's an interesting question. Who are the most famous atheists and agnostics? This is a really, really interesting list. A lot more people than I thought are on the list. So Rant Lifestyle put this together. We'll go through a few of them here. I actually ranked them. I'm going to give you the top 20. But first of all, let me say that I purposely left off the ones that are obvious, the ones that are like almost most known for their atheism. So Richard Dawkins, Christopher Hitchens, Sam Harris, love all those guys to death. They're the best. But I'm leaving them off the list on purpose because they're specifically kind of known for that. Even Bill Maher, comedian, very well-known atheist. George Carlin, same thing. So they're off the list on purpose. So don't worry, I didn't forget about them. They're in their own separate special category. But let me give you the other ones, the most famous atheists and agnostics. Number 20, Steve Wozniak. He's one of the founders of Apple. He says he, quote, falls somewhere in the middle of atheism and agnosticism. Pretty cool to have a guy like that here. Then we have Billy Joel, atheist. Joaquin Phoenix, quote, I don't believe in God. I don't believe in an afterlife. I don't believe in soul. I don't believe in anything. I think it's totally right for people to have their own beliefs if it makes them happy, but to me, it's a pretty preposterous idea. Couldn't agree with you more there, buddy. Daniel Radcliffe, a.k.a. Harry Potter, apparently an atheist. James Cameron, director. Lance Armstrong, Jodie Foster. Seth MacFarlane, of course, the creator of Family Guy. And Cosmos now. Bruce Lee, legend Bruce Lee. He said he was influenced by different religions, but he considers himself to be an atheist. Mick Jagger, atheist. John Lennon, atheist. And now let's get to the top 10. Number 10, Jack Nicholson. Jack Nicholson said, quote, I don't believe in God now, but he added, I can still work up an envy for someone who has a faith. I can see how that could be a deeply soothing experience. So that's interesting. There's a lot, and by the way, the diversity of beliefs on this list, it's actually wide as well, because you have between atheists and agnostics, and also people who have different feelings and beliefs towards religion, too. Some of these guys are hostile to religion, like I am. Others say, well, look, I see some reason for it, even though I don't agree with it. Number 9, Jesse Ventura. Of course, former governor, now big-time conspiracy theorist, former wrestler. Just an all-around really, really interesting guy. I certainly don't agree with him on everything. I do agree with him on some things. Interesting guy. He makes number 9. Number 8, Rafael Nadal. Of course, the incredibly talented tennis player. Number 7, Howard Stern. He says, quote, in a typical Howard Stern way, here's what happens when you die. You sit in a box and get eaten by worms. I guarantee you that when you die, nothing cool happens. That's such a Howard Stern comment. Number 6. Now, for the record, the reason I put it in this order is half because I wanted to put him in this order, but the other half is because I feel obligated to put him in this order by popular demand, I guess you could say. And that's why Brad Pitt is number 6. Brad Pitt, arguably the best-looking man in the history of the universe, according to some people, I'm sure. That is why he's number 6. And he's a decent actor, in my opinion. Some people might attack me and say, how dare you only call him decent? Okay, he's good. He's a good actor. There. I'm just not big into all this stuff. Anyway, number 5, Angelina Jolie. Again, I felt obligated. She said, there doesn't have to be a God for me. There's something in people that's spiritual, that's godlike. So she's one of those kind of like new age atheists that still has like weird spiritual beliefs. I disagree with her on that stuff, but nonetheless, she's an atheist. Number 4, Mark Zuckerberg, the guy who's worth $97 quadrillion. Of course, founder of Facebook, creator of Facebook. Number 3, Bill Gates, of course, another guy worth $9,476 septillion, founder of Microsoft, creator of Microsoft. And now we get to my 2 favorites. Number 2, the great Albert Einstein. Albert Einstein's the man. There's a little bit of controversy over this one, I have to say, because there are some quotes of his where he references God, and a lot of Christians and deists like to use that in their favor. But if you look at the totality of his quotes, he doesn't believe in God in the way that you think he does. He uses that to represent nature. So that's not God. He's just using it in that way. And here's a quote here that sets it to rest for me. Albert Einstein said, quote, "The word God is for me nothing more than the expression and product of human weaknesses. The Bible a collection of honorable but still primitive legends which are nevertheless pretty childish. No interpretation, no matter how subtle, can, for me, change this." So the dude is at least an agnostic. That, to me, sounds like an atheist. Certainly an anti-theist. Brilliant guy. Obviously one of the smartest people that ever lived. And number one, who the fuck beat out Albert Einstein? You ready for this? Stephen Hawking. The only guy that is arguably smarter than Albert Einstein. Just an amazing guy. He deserves the number one position. Ladies and gentlemen, on this alone, I rest my case. You should become an agnostic or an atheist.